Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. All right, Mr. Fuentes, let's see what you got. This is going to be good. Oh, little pixelated there, but that's okay. Nice opening statement. It doesn't pull every eye to it necessarily by being kind of impactful, but it was an opening statement that helped people see. Okay, he's starting. I need to watch this. Nice. Good job. Oh, great tempo change there. And I like the direction change too. That works really well. But the little facing movements though, I would... So let me first... I want to watch what you're doing and see the level of... You have some good vocabulary here with the rifle. You know what you're doing with it.
Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4.
So, okay. What I've seen so far, you are at a high intermediate level with your rifle, with the rifle work. That works very well. You have just slight repetition in there, but I don't think it's anything to be concerned about as far as relying on it constantly to fill up a gap. You're over halfway finished now, so you're doing really quite well with that. The marching, this here, the Hut 2, 3, 4, coming across, and then this as well, that works best with teams. And so a tandem is a team, but I'm talking more of a block of 9, 12, 16. It works better. It's much more impactful. This is okay, it just doesn't impact the way you think it might. There are some things that are best left to a drill team, and then some things that work really well as a soloist that translate also to a drill team. This isn't necessarily one of those. By all means, keep it if you want to. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying it's not as effective as you might want it to be. Now, as far as your design, so we're at 149. So I'm not going to replay everything, but I want you to. I'm just going to take the cursor here, the little dot, and I'm going to take us through. So you come from the center to the center off of the pad to the center on the pad, and then here you face to the left. Have that nice big toss, and then you face to the right. And then here, do some movement, and then you have a little bit of a half-facing movement to the right. Then you step off. And then here, face to the right. Then you're coming across with the Hut 2, 3, 4. You stop, and then you're on to what I was talking about before. So here you even face again. So you want visual balance in your routine. Excuse me for clearing my throat. I apologize. You want that visual balance. So what we have is 3 different categories. We have the visual design category of your movement on the drill pad. All right, that just there's all of its visual design, but let's just take it as your your marching. We'll call it that, marching. And then we have rifle work. And then the last thing we have is body movement and footwork. So you had a little bit of footwork in there at the beginning, and after the report in, which looked really nice. So you're at the intermediate stage with your rifle work, and then you're down here at the basic stage with your routine, your marching, routine design, and then also the basic stage with early intermediate. I'll put it at that. Early intermediate with your footwork. So you have some concepts here that you're working on developing, which is great. I'm really glad to see that. That's good. However, there's a big imbalance. So you have your rifle work is up here at the higher end of intermediate, and then you have your marching down here with barely getting into intermediate, and then your footwork and body design at maybe upper beginning. Whereas if you could now, what I encourage you to do is to create a balance there. Now get into the marching design and maybe even the body work and footwork that you can do, and start bringing those up to the level of where you're working with your rifle, so that as you're performing, then it looks more like a whole piece, it's a whole performance. I was going to say pie for a minute, but I don't want to. That's finite. I want you. This is really kind of infinite. It's the sum of the parts is greater than the whole type of thing. Everything seems to eventually meld together and create something that's bigger than all of the parts put together. So I would, even at the intermediate level, that's fine. That's all right. We all have to begin somewhere. We all grow and learn, and that's what you're doing here, growing and learning and understanding better how you can be more effective. So, and I know I'm really trying not to make this too long, but the facing movements, that would be my suggestion to you. Facing movements have to go. That's the first thing to start work on. Create movement that as you are manipulating the rifle, let's say you take the rifle, and I've done this on videos before, but I'll show you again. So you take the rifle and you move it this way, and you bring it over here. Now, as I bring the butt this way, that's tending to lead me that way. So let the rifle take you around the drill pad. All right? Now, I can also come this way and back up as well. Something that is opposite of what one might expect, which is fine. That's okay. But facing movements tend to force the rifle, and this might be kind of a strange concept, but it forces the rifle to follow you where you want to go, instead of having rifle work that is designed to. Let me show you here. Just before this. There. Now, that was great. Nobody expects that, but the rifle is already at your right side, and then all of a sudden you're moving to the right. That's great stuff. That works really well. This, marching backwards, and the spins, that's good. But that facing movement right there, it looks contrived, and it looks forced, as if, well, now I need to march down this side, so I need to face down that so that I can march parallel to the line, the boundary line there. And really it just doesn't come across as a performance that's natural, that is flowing really well. It's just more of a kind of a robotic little movement there, and then I must go down, and here now I've checked off that box, and now I go down here and I face to the left, and I've checked off that box because now I'm going to march across, and then I face to the left and I check off that box because now I'm going to march back up. So you can march these different directions. Just take into account how you can move rather than a facing movement, how you can change your direction, just like this. This is right here. This is excellent. After your toss here. There. That's excellent. It really works well. So you know how to, maybe you weren't thinking of this when you created it, but you now know how to change direction without executing a facing movement. Yeah, sure, you executed a little bit of a pivot there, but still, it's you took it on a completely different level, much higher plane. The rest of it, though, is just right back down at the bottom. It's regulation, and it's exhibitionized regulation drill. So why the pause there? If you're trying to catch rifle got away from you a little bit and continued, but you picked it up, got right back in. Good, I'm glad. So even the about face. So maybe the about face was something accidental, because it looked like from here, great direction change. That worked well. Just didn't work as well as you wanted it to. So maybe you didn't want to obviously drop the rifle, and then you wanted to get into this in a different way, but you weren't able, so that's okay. Under the leg. Nice job. Good. It takes effort, an extraordinary amount of effort, to lay down on your back like that.
Cooper High School Air Force ROTC.
So, oh, good. You're going to perform out. Excellent. I'm glad. Good. All right. And you have a little bit of a closing statement there as well. So now's the time to start thinking of how you can change direction differently. You're doing well with the rifle. Keep up the work with the rifle. But now I would suggest getting into exploring other ideas for changes in direction. And then also, I would suggest the stomp sequence of the hut 2, 3, 4, and then I don't know what you were chanting as you were marching up the sideline there, away from the judges or judge at the center there. But I would suggest doing something a little different. Create a ripple line. Just kidding. You're the only one, so that's not going to work. Anyway, I really appreciate the time that you took to create this, and you have that creative ability in you, and it's coming forth. It's just in the early stages and now you can develop it some more if you choose to. All right. I hope my comments are helpful. Thanks.